Sitting here looking around, forgot where I was for a minute. When you go everywhere, sometimes that happens. Where am I? So I'm stopped for the night in Missouri Valley, Iowa, just north of Council Bluffs. Ran my time out, so I thought I'd stop for a minute and do a little video, and it might take a couple days to do this, but of why I decided to fix the truck rather than repair. It goes a lot deeper. It involves a lot of thought, contemplation, and a salesman who is a complete jackass. So there's a story about that. Quite has a pretty sunset though. Anyhow, here we go. So I wasn't completely sold on buying another truck. We'll just start with the salesman. I said, I'm interested. What's the number on the truck? It's 2018, 579. It's got 441,000 miles on it. Not bad. Sorry, I'm eating dinner. It's not bad, but a little on the high side, but not horrible. And since the economy's been tanking, the price is up about 7 to 10 grand at 8%. So I said, if the economy's up 8%, my trade-in's worth about 8% more. He said, what do you want for your trade-in? I said, I want 20,000. I said, in today's economy, that's fair. There's not negotiating, not 19.5 and even 20. Well, that shouldn't be a problem. Blah, 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 blah. So he calls me up and starts trying to hustle me. Gives me every number but what I asked. He wouldn't tell me. He wanted me to do math and, you know, just hoping that I would panic buy, and he was really trying to force and pressure me into buying this truck. And that made me mad. Don't pressure me. So he says, well, if you don't fix the truck, I'm going to give you, the truck will be 74,000, and if you do fix the truck, it'll be 66, 67, something like that. And I'm thinking, son, that's a far cry from 20 grand, because I know dang good and well once you pile everything on, I'm going to be right back up at your asking price. So he sat there and blew up my phone and wanted to play all these games, and then he tried to guilt me, and he was just a real jerk. So if you're watching this, guy, you're a jerk. And I wasn't going to have none of it, because there's a lot of other trucks in this world. So that's why I didn't buy that particular truck. So let's get on with the repair. Now, there were several factors that led me to want to repair the truck. And the cost really wasn't it. I figured if I buy a truck, or if I get the truck fixed, I'm dropping 30 grand regardless that day. So I still owe about 4 grand on the truck I got, so that's not a big deal. We could roll that over into the new loan, not a problem. So I'm looking at dropping 30 grand on a repair, or dropping 30 grand having repairs and payments for the next 3 years. But there's also something else that I thought about, and this was the clincher, and that was the mileage on the truck. 441,000 sounds good, but there's always a catch, and there's always a catch, and that's something I discovered. So that was the main kicker right there. What I've discovered playing with trucks over the last 20 plus years, I was a mechanic before I was a truck driver, is that there's a sweet spot for a truck, and there's a not so sweet spot for a truck. And if you buy a truck with mileage between about 400 and about 750, that's the period where everything starts breaking. Most of these guys get rid of their trucks at 400,000 miles because they get a good trade-in. There's still a little bit of factory warranty left on it, but they've deferred all the maintenance because nothing's broke. If it ain't broke, they're not going to fix it. So they've deferred all their maintenance, and they'll save it for the next guy because that's what they have a warranty for. So the salesman says, hey, this truck's still got some factory warranty, and we'll sell you an extended factory warranty, which is just slightly, it's almost worthless. It's better than the one I had, but not by much. So, at certain intervals with these engines, everything has an item that times out. Everything on these trucks times out. You're supposed to do your first DPF cleaning at around 100,000 miles. Between 100 and 250. Maybe it is 250. You're supposed to clean it at 250 if I remember, and replace it at 500, whether it's gone down or not. So theoretically, according to Cummins and Peterbilt or whoever else make the trucks, if you change these consumable items, and they are consumable items, at the intervals in which they are designed to be changed at, I gotta get a haircut, theoretically, your truck's, aside from catastrophic failure, your truck really is not going to break down because you're going to be replacing parts. And basically the magic number for these is about 500,000 miles. At 500,000 miles, your emission system is cooked. I can testify to that. I've replaced 2 of them. And it's just, even if it hasn't failed, it's supposed to be changed out. Things are supposed to be cleaned. There is a cleaning and maintenance schedule for every part on this truck, and companies don't follow it. That's why I talk about deferred maintenance, because at 500,000 miles, the warranty's over. And if you buy a truck with 500,000 miles on it, and it goes down, that's all on you, and that's a lot of money. So usually by 750,000, a lot of that stuff has been replaced because it's gone down at least once. But if it hasn't been replaced and the thing hasn't been cracked into in 750 to 800,000 miles, the price should reflect that. But the factory warranty's gone. $20,000 ought to fall off that truck. What was at 450,000, it's a $70,000 truck. At 550,000, it better be a $45,000 truck. That's not a joke, because you are going to be replacing a lot of things, and the price of the truck should reflect its age. My truck right now, if I was to redo the emission system, when I redo the engine and all that, I'll drop 35, 40 grand into it. Guess what? It's going to be a $35,000 truck. It's a losing proposition, but the truck's about paid for, and I'll get another year out of it, and I will get my money back out of it. So when I go to sell the truck, did I make money on it? Not really, but I got my money back out of it, and it is what it is, because I'll tell you what, some of these new trucks are going nuts. So it's a one-time thing of 30,000, or I can do it all over again. I bought my first truck at about 620,000, and my second truck at 706, and I can verify that it doesn't matter what the maintenance report says. These things are going to wear out if they're not replaced. And that was kind of what was on my mind. I'm going to spend $85,000 for what's essentially going to be maybe another year and a half, 2 years of warranty. No, not even that. 50,000 miles, we're talking 7-8 months of warranty. Unless I want to spend another $6,000 for the extended warranty, and then I'm going to turn around and have to go and replace everything that I've already replaced on the last 2 trucks. So we're talking a lot of money here. I mean, those DEF filters are expensive. In fact, the core's more than the filter. I've replaced 3 of them. I've replaced 2 SCRs. Those are very expensive. I've replaced an EGR, replaced turbos. I mean, there's a lot of money wrapped up in these trucks. And it doesn't matter how new or how old they are. When something fails, it just fails, because a lot of times now, most of these parts are just swapped out. They get a rebuilt part, it doesn't work. They swap it to another rebuilt part, doesn't work. They swap it to another rebuilt part that works, and finally they get some life out of it. So the part quality isn't in the parts, so when they fail, they just fail. You know, I had a fan hub go out on a truck with less than 100,000 on it, and it was a brand new. I mean, yeah. So it is what it is. You take your chances regardless, no matter what you buy. And I just realized that, you know what, I already know what I got. Chances are I'm going to end up putting a transmission into it here soon, but it's a tax write-off. I only got one more year of depreciation on it as it is, so I might as well just get one more write-off out of it. So that was kind of my thoughts. It sounds counterproductive, but if you really start to think about it, and you think about the age, mileage, and all that other stuff that's going on, and you already got a truck that's mostly paid for anyways. I mean, it's not, this truck will be paid for here in another couple of months, so it's not a big deal. I was going to drop 30 grand on a down payment. I'll drop 30 grand fixing my truck. It's just one of those things. Unless I come across a real smoking deal. And I might next year. But I'm going to keep it for now. So, let's get back to the rental truck. I rented another 680, but it's a couple years older than the last one. Truthfully, the last one was real nice. This one's not bad either. It's got a little age. It's got 416,000 on it, but it's not bad. But I think they were getting ready to trade it off, so they went ahead and let me rent it for a couple of weeks and maybe a month. I gotta call Kenworth on Monday and find out how long it's gonna be, but it's a nice truck. I do like the APU on it. It's a nice color of green. The inside's pretty sparse, but it is a basic fleet truck. I'm not doing a review on this truck, but this truck is set up actually identically to the last one. It pulls really good. I'm impressed with the Jake, like I was the last one. And the fuel mileage is on point. I mean, if nothing else, I have 78,000 here, and I'm averaging 8 miles a gallon. So what it's going to cost me in a lease, I'm going to make up in fuel. In fact, the fuel mileage is so good, I don't even know if I'm going to have to really hustle to get my Loves bonus by the end of the month. So, for my loyalty program, so, yeah. What scares everybody about these trucks is the emission system, and it is something to be concerned. Because in the old days, before all this stuff, a wore-out truck was just a wore-out truck, but it was really easy to get it in-framed, rebuilt, and the price reflected it. You could buy a million-mile Pete for $10,000, $15,000, spend another $8,000 or $10,000, and had a good truck. The emission system is a lot these days. I know a lot of people are like, well, why don't you just delete it? Why don't you just delete it? Well, I've got some very real reasons why I don't. First of all, it is illegal in all 50 states. But let's just put that aside. The other thing is the fact that if it's deleted, most of the governments and EPA has been going after a lot of shops that work on these. And with all the emissions stuff on it, I can go just about anywhere. With it being deleted and everything off, there's not hardly anywhere I can go now. Nobody's just willing to work on it. And truthfully, I think the truck would run better if I had all the stuff off it. I'm certain of it. I know it would. It'd be a great running truck if it was deleted. But I can't do that. Just because of the area that I go. If I was running around just my hometown and only going 50 or 60 miles all the time, yeah, excuse me, I wouldn't have a problem. But that's why I don't. Just because of the liability. And it does make things easier in the long run, even though it is more costly to maintain. There's kind of a trade-off there. So, yeah. So, anyways, this video, that's a little short one, but that's why I decided to fix the truck. You know, I could not see the advantage of buying a truck, especially in today's market, and panic buying because I get stressed out, and panic buying because all of a sudden I think I need to have a working truck. That's the wrong time to buy a truck. You know, that salesman was trying to pressure me. Oh, your truck's shot, you need a truck. You know, I could sell you this truck. I could sell you this truck today. We can do the paperwork today. And I'm thinking, you idiot, I haven't even heard it fire up yet. So that's when I just decided to walk, and I said, you know what, we'll get the truck fixed, and you know what, maybe next year I'll buy a truck. But that was why I didn't buy a truck. It's the wrong time, I had the wrong attitude, and too much pressure. So hey, it is what it is. But I'll have a good running truck when it's all said and done. So hey, that's all that matters. It makes me money. So I appreciate it. Thanks for watching. Have a good day, and I hope you're going well too. So catch you later.